fellow followers. Welcome back to FanZcene. Greg here, and today I have for you, what if I described this movie to you? A young boy by the name of Charlie, whose parents are divorced, and his father, who is a bit of a, workaholic and executive who works in retail trying to sell things, especially around Christmas time, and who this young boy, Charlie, his parents are divorced, and he has to go stay with his father during Christmas or at Christmas time. Then something magical happens, and along the way, the father and son reconnect and find out why they love each other. The family sort of fixes itself up a bit, and everybody deals with how to be with each other, and everything works out in a happy ending. Now, if you thought I was describing the movie Vice Versa, then you would be right. But you probably thought I was describing the movie The Santa Claus, which is what makes these movies more similar than you think. Now, I recently watched Vice Versa not too long ago. The Vice Versa is essentially a body swap movie with Fred Savage and Judge Reinhold, where it does take place at Christmas time. And Judge Reinhold does play the father of Fred Savage, whose name is Charlie in the movie. And the parents are divorced. The mom has moved on and remarried. And so but Fred Savage's character, Charlie, has to go stay with his dad at Christmas time. He doesn't want to, he doesn't really, him and his dad doesn't connect. He doesn't, doesn't get along real well with his dad. But his dad got this mystical thing in Thailand, and they switch it and they body swap. And, that's where it becomes very different. It's got a little more in common with Big than it does a lot of Santa Claus, but also at the same time, it has a lot in common with Santa Claus because there's this young boy named Charlie whose parents are divorced, and Judge Reinhold, the dad in this, is Charlie's stepfather in this, has married, Charlie's mom. And then Charlie has to go stay with his dad for Christmas time, but he doesn't really get along with his dad because his dad is an executive who sells toys at Christmas time, and that's his big job. Is and Christmas time is the busiest time of the year, so he really doesn't have time for his son and all that. But then something magical happens where they accidentally kill Santa Claus, and Scott Calvin, Tim Allen, becomes Santa Claus. And you know what? When you really think about it, it is a bit of a body swap movie in and of itself, much like the Vice Versa. What do you mean? Well, Scott Calvin goes from becoming Scott Calvin into becoming Santa Claus, sort of a body swap into Santa Claus. And so I looked really deep into these movies to see if I could find any other connections from writers, executive producers, or anything like that. And I really, really couldn't, other than Judge Reinhold being in both movies. There's no other connection. But it was really weird when I was watching, Vice Versa, and I was like, okay, his name's Charlie, right? Oh, it's Christmas time at Vice Versa, which I didn't remember when I was saying it. Oh, his dad's an executive, sort of works at a mall, and it's their busiest time of the year trying to sell stuff, to everybody coming into the mall at Christmas time. Oh, okay. And he doesn't really get along with his dad. His mom has moved on and married someone else. And then something magical happens, which is I described in both movies. So it was really surprising to me that there was such a similarity to him. Of course, Fred Savage's character is a bit older than the character of Charlie in this one. I can't think of the kid's name at the moment. I can't think of his name, but he plays he's a bit of a younger kid, and it's much more. This is much more Christmassy. This is where Christmas is sort of in the background, in the background of the movie, and vice versa. But I was just really, really surprised by the similarities and how similar they were. Yes, like I said, maybe this has a little more in common with Big, but it has a little more similarities to the Santa Claus than I anticipated. So I was just curious as if to you guys out there, is there any other movies out there maybe you haven't seen in a long time, or maybe you started watching them and you're thinking, my God, this movie is very similar to something else that I used to see. And what really threw me was like the names, like both the kids' names were Charlie, and both the parents were divorced, and both the moms have moved on, and the kids both didn't really care to spend time with their dads. So that was like really like. I was like, wow. So yes. It just was something I was watching, and this is a little video I wanted to do on this. I was been trying to think of to do other types of videos, outside of just reading an article all of the time and everything on the channel. And I have so much physical media and so many movies, and I watch so many movies. So I thought, why not do some videos like this and compare these two? But I wish I had more of a connection for these. It's real, I wish I had more of a connection, but I did go to like Internet Movie Database and explore the writers, the producers, and everything. This was, of course, made by Disney, and this was made by Columbia Pictures. So there's that, and there's really nothing that connects them to in Hollywood that way, other than Judge Reinhold. That was just like a weird coincidence, and it's funny to think though too as well, because like Judge Reinhold was a big star in the '80s, and like he plays the dad in this and everything. And it was a pretty big get. Then you get Tim Allen is the dad, and Judge Reinhold is a character actor now who's not. He's not really important. He plays the goofy sweater wearing dad, stepdad in the Santa Claus, who's a therapist, right? So, and the where like the mom and the stepdad in this one is as prevalent as the mom and stepdad in Santa Claus. So there's a lot of differences, but there's also a lot of similarities between the two. It just was fun to see, and I totally forgot that Vice Versa took place around Christmas time when I was watching it. So that was a surprise. But I mean, you can't go really wrong with either one of these movies. So if you want to do a double feature of Vice Versa and a Santa Claus, I mean, it works well together as a double feature. And as in the making of this video, it is December and it is Christmas time. So I think this is something that just I found interesting, and I hope you guys find interesting as well too, because there is more similarities to these movies than I thought once saw, especially considering the like how close they sort of came together, because this came out in 1988 and I believe this came out in 1992. I want to say 92, maybe 93. So there's like it's actually pretty close in time and just a few years apart. That was pretty interesting. Yeah, but anyways, I kind of rambled in this video and everything. But I didn't want to make it too long or anything like that. But let me know you guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. And if you've experienced any movies like this where you were watching a movie from a long time ago that you used to watch as a kid or something, and then you're watching it now, and then all of a sudden you realize it's very similar to another movie that you never thought about before. Because like I said, when Vice Versa came out, everybody compared it to Big, really, to Big. Or I think maybe Big even came after it. Who knows? It's very similar in that sense. But then later on, Santa Claus came out. Now I'm comparing them to that because it's very similar story beats, albeit a different magical device that helps it out. And like I said, Santa Claus could sort of be seen as a body swap movie with killing Santa Claus and then becoming Santa Claus, switching your roles of who you once were. But let me know you guys' thoughts about this in the comment section down below. And if you liked what you saw here, maybe consider hitting that like button or subscribing and hitting that bell for notifications. That would be awesome if you earn your guys' subscriptions, or possibly share the video out for everybody to see, or join and become a channel member, because that would help out my channel immensely. Thank you and shout out to all my channel members. I appreciate each and every one of you guys. Thank you guys for being channel members here and for all of your support. And to everybody watching, whether you like me, hated me, or liked this video, or hated this video, I thank you for sticking this long. Wherever you all are, please have a great, safe, happy, healthy day, morning, afternoon, evening, and night. Always support physical media because it truly is the superior format. Godspeed.